Good morning, everybody, and happy Christmas Eve. I've got some nice little mince pies from Morrison's that we went down to Morrison's the other morning at 8 o'clock, and it was rammed. I don't know if you've been out there, but we've gone out once and we spent 40 quid, and that was it. I thought, never again. Not going anywhere near the roads. We did go up the pub up to Princetown the other day. We was going to take the Spider, the bike, but it was just too hectic, and I thought, it could be a little bit risky with the traffic and people running around all over the shop, and I thought, and lo and behold, it did rain when we were up there, so we were kind of glad. There was a few cyclists and stuff coming in, and they were drenched, and and we took Doggy with us, so he loved it. He had we shared a bit of pizza with him. So yeah. It's funny because Shah said the other day about we've got a week off and we've got bugger all planned, nothing to do. This time last year we were in Scotland and cooking Christmas Day. Christmas Eve. We did our Christmas Day meal on Christmas Eve because we got bored at the site that we were at, and it was a lovely site, don't get me wrong, but I just thought when we were there, we just thought, why are we going to stay here? Let's go and travel. So we toured Scotland last year. It was really good. But this year we're just kind of kicking around really, and not doing much at all. And that's okay sometimes. It's fine, because we're not kind of. We don't have to be anywhere. We don't need to. We've got no things booked, anything like that. Apart from we're going to be going to London for a couple of days. In 2 weeks' time, we got some Shah's friends that she works with. The lucky bugger. She's just on that day. She's coming over. She's retired. And she's coming over to London to do a bit of a tour, and we're going to meet up with her. So we're going to head on up to Abbey Wood, which is our usual site in London, just outside London, and jump on the Elizabethan line and head straight into wherever. And that would be nice, because it would be really interesting just to have that whole retirement conversation piece with somebody who's just doing it, And Shah's joined a Facebook group and engaging with people that are already in retirement, what they've done, what they're doing, or not doing anything. Everybody's different. Some people just love to do absolutely bugger all, and that's okay. Everybody's different. And when we were at the pub yesterday, we had a conversation with a lady. We were just talking about general bits and pieces, and talking about, and I said, wouldn't it be nice? I said to Shah, wouldn't it be nice just to buy a little pub on a ski slope, I don't know, in Sofia or Bansko or whatever, ski resort, and just wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great? And I have these silly ideas. And she said, and she was actually the manager. She wasn't the pub owner, but she lives in the pub and runs it. Do you know what I mean? So, and she said, I wouldn't do it if I were you. 14-hour days, 1 day off a year is we would never do it again. And she can't wait to get out of it, kind of thing. And it's really interesting, isn't it? And it's really also interesting that we speak to so many different people, depending on obviously what jobs they do. a lot of people tend to tell us, "Oh, don't do that, don't do that." But the one thing that well, we've been drawn to, the one type of people that have really loved what they've done, and that's wardens. People that are, all the wardens that we spoke to on the Caravan and Motorhome, who work at the Caravan and Motorhome club sites, just say that's the best thing they've ever done, and they've given up their IT jobs, their high-powered management roles, and just to clean toilets and you know, and look after a site, cutting the grass, trimming the hedges, and I don't know, fixing lights or whatever, and just making sure that, you know, everybody's stay is as pleasurable as it can possibly be, and I must admit, you know, it's the one thing that we're kind of potentially looking at, I would say. It's more of a potential at the moment because it keeps us busy. We're in that environment, but it all depends on the current circumstances, because we've still got family. Well, Shah's got family commitments, I don't. So I'm quite free in that sense. And it's really interesting. My whole existence, I suppose, is I try to be as free as possible, and I think that's why I got into IT, because when I used, don't get me wrong, I've worked in factories, and it is like slave labour. It's awful, and from what I experienced anyway, it may not be like that now, but that's why I got into IT, because of the sense of freedom that, you know, being in IT gives you, I suppose. Well, it was back then. I guess it is now, a lot more than what I give credit for, really, because we've got the abilities to work at home. We can do what we want. It's almost, you know, the last 10 years or so I've been working at home. It's almost like in a way I've been retired but still being paid for it. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, we are quite fortunate. It's not as if we're leaving, you know, we're in like hectic jobs and really high stressy, like, you know, manual labour kind of jobs that we can't wait to get away from, and that's why I think Shah's kind of like thinking, you know, does she stay on a little bit longer, maybe? But it all depends on the path ahead, really, what that next chapter looks like, what that retirement piece looks like. It could be kind of volunteering for the National Trust. It could be, you know, and that could be my way out of IT, to maybe we work together on a club site as assistant managers. But like I say, it all depends on family commitments and all that sort of good stuff. So we might not be able to do it just yet. But we'll see, I guess. So I think that certainly Christmas this year, we're just going to be having an easy one, really. No, we've got no commitments, we've got no plans, and we don't necessarily buy into the whole commercialism of it. And it's, you know, I mean, I must admit, I think when Shah first met me, she thought, oh God, I was a right misery, because, you know, I'm not dancing, jumping around like an absolute crazed, you know, at Christmas time, and it's just, you know, I just don't buy into the whole thing. The thought of going to these crazy shops where it's just absolutely rammed to buy hundreds of presents for people that you don't even like, and they don't want the presents because they're just tat. It just seems like a pointless exercise, really. But that's just my take on it. You know, maybe I should get a Grinch t-shirt. But she's actually come around to the fact that actually she actually agrees with me. She thinks it's quite freeing. It's quite enlightening almost, because I think kind of differently, I suppose. I don't really conform to the norm, I suppose, you know. So she's, I think she's upstairs on her computer at the moment looking at, she's doing her pension figures. She's very analytical, she's very good with money, she's very good with numbers. She probably would have got into some financial role, I think, if she didn't do IT. So she's kind of working out cost benefits, the benefits of retiring early versus staying on for a little bit longer, offsetting tax and national insurance and all that sort of stuff. And so yeah, it'd certainly be the next chapter of the book, so to speak, in the next few years is going to be certainly interesting. And I think, you know, that's why the other reason I started a YouTube channel, because I thought it's a great thing to do. It's a great thing to create these videos, these vlogs, I suppose, of a date and time. So, you know, we can go back. I can go back and just say, oh, we did this, we did that, just to remind myself that, you know, we're just not sitting around watching TV all day, kind of thing. So it's a great way to just highlight those areas, those times in your life, good or bad. So, and you know, I don't expect it to pay, the YouTube. I don't really care if it pays or not. I quite enjoy the videos. I quite enjoy making the videos. And I like my new sound system. That's kind of cool. And also, I just like to share really what we get up to, our thoughts, our daily thoughts, and just I think certainly with me with this ADHD stuff, it's my daily thoughts just ramble from one thing to another. That's probably why these videos are so hectic, really, because my mind's just like a web of just thought processes darting from one thing to another. And it's interesting because that's why I probably don't like exams. I've never liked exams. I struggle to read instructions. So for instance, the other day I was trying to make some cheese, wasn't I? And I went from step 1, step 2 down to step 6, and then step 4, and then back to step 6. And do you hate those tests, right, when you have to read a scenario that for a lot of people, they can just read it once and they just know, and I just so envy that. I just think that's so brilliant. And I used to think I was just dim, really, to be honest. I don't think I'm the smartest cookie in the jar, but, you know, I think this ADHD stuff, our brains work differently. And so those sorts of tests, that's why I've always avoided tests. And I've always wondered why. And it's just a bit of a struggle, really. And so I, tend to just throw away the instructions and dig them out the bin later when I need them. And I have to read a set of instructions over and over and over again, and over and over and over again, until it sinks in. It's that's probably why I don't do documentation much as well. I'm not a writer. And also the oversensory stimulation. I think I avoid those crowded, busy places. Hence why I tend to not go shopping much if I can avoid it. Certainly this time of year where it's just crazy. I find peace when I used to go potholing. I used to be a potholer, and I loved to get myself into tight squeezes and tight spaces. But it was lovely down there because the only thing I had to kind of deal with was my own kind of strength in those hectic situations, and that for me was quite easy, believe it or not. I like tight spaces and I love claustrophobia. I love getting out. I love getting past it. I love like fighting with the mind almost and winning, and that was quite nice. I remember being in a I used to go caving quite a lot on my own at some point as well, certainly down some dodgy mine shafts. I know. I don't quite know how I'm still alive, to be honest. There were some of the risks I took. I took. But it was a lovely, peaceful place, being underground, and just with the bats, you can hear them gently in the background. And it was dark, obviously. Deathly dark, and that's probably why I loved scuba diving, like deep scuba diving as well, going down to like 40 odd meters ish, because the sense of quiet down there, everything changes. It's almost like deathly quiet. Well, it is. It's a different tone. It's a weird. When you go beyond 28 meters, it's a weird sensation, So I'm kind of looking for my next kind of thing, and that's probably why I love skiing so much, because I never get bored with skiing. It's skiing I love the adrenaline, I love the speed, and I love the quiet of the mountains. The noise of the snow as you crunch, and also when you ski on ice, it's challenging. And I love the technicalities of skiing when you really get into, working with the pressures and the center of mass over the skis, and how that affects an angulation and supination. All these great things that it's almost like the science of skiing. You can really go down so many rabbit holes with it, and it's so fascinating. And that's probably why I love to teach it. I'd love to teach it. I would love to teach skiing. I would love to teach skiing to adults, probably, that are kind of, I would like to transition them from that horrible snowplow. Oh, snowplow is cruel. To teach skiing, no, it's cruel. So I would teach a new skier to ski parallel. No, we're not going snowplow. Don't ever go snowplow, it's cruel. And get people skiing really quick and safe, and learn how to control their speed on steeper slopes and all the rest of it. I learnt skiing in my experience of skiing. I did a dry ski slope for one day. They taught me snowplow, and I just thought, oh my God, I've got to get out of this. I've got to go. And no, I didn't want to go to parallel. I wanted to go to carving. I'm always trying to run before I can walk. So I studied with books and YouTube and various other sources of information, and I taught myself how to ski parallel and to carve. And my first holiday was Courchevel in France, and I remember the girls taking me at the time. We went with a load of girls, and we went up to the top, and I looked over. I just thought, oh my God, this is hectic. And my friend at the time, Sandra, she was called, she went off, come on. And And Caroline, a friend I had at the time, she was behind, and we started skiing down. And I just thought, right, I'm going to just click and just start processing all this knowledge that I've built up for the months and months of studying that I did. And bingo, everything just worked. And I was just switching from side to side on the skis, and I was tipping my ankles and knees, and the skis were coming up onto their edges, shifting my weight, and it was a pure symphony. It was just beautiful, really, the feeling. And I remember Caroline saying, "Oh my God, I've been doing this 5 years and I'm still in snowplow. How do you do that?" But I did it because I was interested, because I felt skiing for me was I'm passionate about it, passionate about the complexity of it. I loved it. I loved that there's so much to learn, and it's easy to start skiing is easy to learn, but it's harder to master. And I think that's why I went for skiing. Whereas snowboarding, it's the other way, I think. I did try snowboarding for a bit, but I just couldn't really get on with it, to be honest. So we've kind of stuck with, well, I've always stuck with skiing anyway. I just find it faster, more exhilarating, more fun. You can still ski the powder if you've got wide enough skis. It's all good fun. So we're going to be heading to our next trip in March, which we can't wait, to be honest. Oh, it's going to be a nice holiday, a nice break. But it's not going to be a break, it's going to be a bloody knackering one too, because it is tiring. But if I could, would I get bored though? If I could ski every day, because I do get bored easily. And I don't know really. Probably, if I was there all the time, if we lived somewhere, because I've suggested to Charles, maybe we should just move to Bulgaria or something. But I don't know, it's such a faff trying to do all that, to organise all that, and pensions, working, living in another country, it just becomes all a world of pain really, and it's like, what do we do? But it's not getting any cheaper living in this country either. And I'm kind of concerned about how things are costing now, and what things are going to be like in the future, really. It's, it seems to be the three fundamental things of survival, like shelter, food and warmth, are all under attack. It just feels like we're constantly under attack from the governments, trying to make it as impossible as they can, it seems to be. it just seems crazy. I don't know, it just seems absolutely crazy. That's the last coffee of the day for me. I think we're gonna take Sam out for a little wander shortly. Yeah, I think that's about it for this video, guys. Just a little catch up, see what's going on. It's always nice to chat to you all as ever. And I really appreciate you guys sticking around and seeing how things pan out for us, really. I think I'm going to start looking around for a new job in January, something a bit different, or not. We're going to see. I'm going to see how that goes. I'm just going to start looking around to see what I fancy. Never happy. Yeah, if any of you guys out there, if any of you kind of have any kind of experience with ADHD as well, I'll be really pleased to hear from you guys, to see how you guys cope with it. Is it a blessing or a curse or a little bit of both? But anyway, as ever, I shall see you in the next one. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.